Some people like to shoot with both eyes open. If you use that technique, that's fine. As soon as you have the sights on target, it's going to be just like your brain says laser beam. That's the time to pull the trigger. That works for some people. I find it takes a little bit of practice. I prefer to close one eye. But there we have offhand. You do this correctly and you'll be able to plunk all 10 rounds into the X zone.
The first of them is cross-legged. So he has crossed his front leg over his back leg, and he is going to place his support elbow on the front of his front kneecap. And that's his support. He wants that directly under the rifle, just like in prone, or in standing for that matter. And by taking the small groove that's in the elbow and putting it over the knee, that gives him some support to support him when the rifle recoils. His left hand is still going to be open, loose, relaxed, and comfortable. And his right elbow can be in a number of positions. He could chicken wing it, or if he, depending on flexibility.
He wants it in front of his knee.
He wants it in front of his knee? Okay, so he wants that right elbow there on front of his knee. Not everyone's that flexible, which doesn't look like he is. So chicken wings.
But somebody will be.
But you want to try to get both of those elbows on your knees, and that again is stability. You want this to be as stable as possible. And in some cases, some people can be almost as stable as prone if they're really good at this position. I guess we'll go to the next one, which we'll do legs out.
Wait, before you move on, in this position, you can adjust the height of your knees. So very important to getting your elbows out in front of your knees is how high your knees are to your elbows, right? So there's a couple variables you can do here, and you do them with your feet. So if you think about moving your feet further away from your body or closer into your body, that might help your elbows get out in front of your knees. Or if you think about moving your legs once they're crossed, moving them past each other, moving your feet past each other, or closer together, that's another way to give yourself more knee room.
So try and bring your feet closer together, and then you can lift that right knee a little bit. Like, can you get your right elbow on it?
Another thing, if you can't get your elbow out in front of your knee, you can try crossing your feet the other way. So it looks like you want your right knee to be higher, and that is sometimes accomplished. You're almost there. Move your feet closer to each other. Give yourself more knee to work with. Yeah, well, all right. So if you can't do it, we move on to the next.
So if you can't do that one, which I'm not comfortable in that position, I like the next one, and he's going to take his feet and he's going to put them out in front of him, apart.
Crossed again, right?
No,
So
not
yes,
crossed.
so there's the cross ankle. That's the next
Oh,
one.
crossed ankle? Okay,
Yes.
so there's another one.
Anybody have some raid?
So he crosses his ankles.
This
Yep,
above?
that's the way.
Yep.
But you raise your knees up, so you move
want
your feet closer to your
a little
body.
closer in.
Yep.
And then rest on your knees again. Can you? So again, ideally you want to rest on both your knees. It's the same base position, but you're crossed at your ankles instead of as far in, and it's pretty much just a derivative of the last one we just did by taking his feet out further. After this one, he can take both his feet and put them out and dig his heels into the dirt, basically. And you can bring those knees in even further.
Like that?
I put your toes up. And you can even spread them a little bit further, whatever's comfortable.
Yeah, this one is.
That's
not
how
terrible.
the rest of them should look, if you can get into the other one.
All right, so this is the one that works best for me. Put your feet out, elbows once again resting on your knees, and facing the rifle, hands still relaxed, everything's still the same, just different feet position. And then before I move on to the kneeling position, how might we change NPOA in this position, or the other position for that matter? When we're prone, it's our left elbow if we're a right-handed shooter, and when we're standing, we are going to move around our left foot. So we have a pivot point for both of those. The pivot point here is going to be basically the left butt cheek. You're going to pivot around that. So if I want to move to the right, I'm going to move my right butt cheek further that way, and I can do the same going the other way. but we're just in seated as opposed to the other positions.
If anybody has a better term for that, let us know. 'Cause we feel stupid every time.
And similarly, we can raise and lower the rifle by positioning our feet on our knee position. If we lower our feet in this position, it lowers our knee, and that brings the muzzle down, and we can go up the same way. And the same idea works for cross-legged. The third position is kneeling. So here's the kneeling position. He's kneeling on his right foot.
Sitting on his right foot.
Sitting on his right foot. His left foot, he wants to try to get it perpendicular with the ground, straight up and down, and depending, he might need to move his foot out in front of his knee a little bit, depending on his own geometry, I guess, to position that. And everything otherwise is pretty much the same. The right elbow, there is no knee to put it on for him, but his left elbow can rest on his knee. His left hand is still loose. He's still face down on the rifle, and everything else is good. And his right elbow he wants to bring up like the standing position.
Fantastic instruction on positions, huh? Now here's a little bit of something you should have. You should have, what are the 6 key things to get off a good shot? You know, what's really important? What are those 6 things? We'll go over them for you.
All right. So there are 6 steps to firing a perfect shot. We call these the basics. If you follow these 6 steps, shooting them by the numbers, you should be able to, with any rack grade or rifle with ball ammo, to put all of your shots into that 1-inch square that you see downrange. If your group is bigger than that 1-inch square, significantly bigger, and has no, it just looks like a big shotgun, we're probably going to tell you to improve on your basics or your fundamentals. And that's what these are. So, try to remember these in order. And this is the process as you get down into your position. We already told you how to do that. How to get in there and take each shot. So step 1 is sight alignment. What sight alignment means is aligning your front sight and your rear sight. This is all shooting angulars are error. All shooting errors are angular, and this is the most important part. It's actually more important that your sights are aligned with each other than exactly where they are on the target. If you have your sights aligned and you have the whole set move by 1 inch here or there, but still aligned, you'll be 1 inch off at 25 meters, 100 meters, 200 meters, 500 meters. You'll be 1 inch off of where your target is if your sights are aligned. If you're 1 degree off with your sight alignment, just 1 degree, that's something like 5 feet off target at 100 yards. So it's a big deal. We have all 3 kinds of rifles sighting systems on the line right now. The first one, the most basic one, is the notch sights. So your rear sight is a notch like this, and your front sight, you want to align that when you're looking at it exactly even along the top with the rear sight, and you want to have an equal amount of daylight on both sides. That's the sight alignment. Don't worry about the target yet in this step. The other kind of sight is a peep sight, and these will be the tech sights or Garand sights or M1A sights, AR-15 sights. These are better. They're a little easier on the eye, and your eye actually does some of this alignment for you as a natural kind of reaction. What you do is, looking through the rear peephole, just put that post, just think about putting it in the center of the peephole, and your eye will actually put it in the center for you. It's a physiological kind of survival mechanism for your eye to align things automatically. And that'll do it for you. On a scope, you might think there's no sight alignment, but there still is. You want to get your eye aligned with that scope so that there's no shadow surrounding the edges. And if you can't totally get rid of the shadow, what you want to do is have an equal amount of shadow along the rim of the scope. You don't want all the black to be on one side. So best is no shadow, but if you can't get rid of all of it, based on eye relief or just how your scope is, at least make it even on every side. That's step 1, sight alignment. Step 2, sight picture. Now you're taking those aligned sights and you're putting them somewhere on target.